Hello, in this video I would like to introduce you to Dr. Roland Hansen. He is one of my father's most favorite students, and he was also my very favorite doctor who learned the Ksns method. Actually, this video is in German, so we translated it into English, so also English-speaking people can hear it. He's using the Ksns for his patients too, but in a natural approach when also he's a medical doctor. Okay, then I wish you a lot of fun and see you next time. Bye.
First, let me introduce myself. I am Roland Hansen, a doctor with a classical medical education, a specialist, and it's been 6 years since I had the privilege of meeting Mr. Kim and learning a new perspective on medicine and healthcare with him. We have trained approximately 12 doctors, and you are the best instructor, and you can apply this method the best. Thank you, Mr. Kim. The other doctors also say that you have very high intelligence. It's not a question of intelligence, but rather a question of consciousness. What can one let in? We, as conventional medical practitioners, have learned to memorize extensively, which we find hard to depart from. We have memorized what medicine and healing mean. What is the difference? The difference is that we have learned to delve deeper into the human being with X-rays, imaging techniques, and molecular biology to try and understand diseases and their causes. What we have completely forgotten in conventional medicine is to take a step back and consider the whole person in their entirety. And you have provided me with a new approach that I always refer to as functional anatomy. The big difference is that we medical practitioners learned anatomy on the deceased. There's no other way. It is an essential part of our education. But in the same way, we have always tried to immobilize the living person when examining them with imaging techniques, whether it's an X-ray or ultrasound. We always try to keep them completely still because the technical condition for capturing real-time moving images were not available. We asked the patient to hold their breath when taking an X-ray, and for us conventional medical practitioners, it seems completely normal to observe the rigid person and not evaluate them in terms of their dynamics. And this is what you have taught us, to think and practice functional anatomy on a moving person, dynamic processes, so to speak. This can be explained quite simply. I have a map, a city map of Cologne. We know everything by heart, the main train station on the right, 2 kilometers away another restaurant, and the next to it the Cologne Cathedral, all memorized. But one thing is across from the main train station, the police station. There's no police station within 10 kilometers. Why is the police station next to the cathedral? Why isn't there an amusement park across from it? Why are there many restaurants in the vicinity? Why? We know exactly where everything is, but we don't know why. For example, the liver, why is it on the right? Why do the liver veins run above and below while other organs mostly have parallel veins? Why wasn't that taught? The entire function is not understood. It's the same with the heart. When we describe the heart or look at it in a textbook, we always see the heart as if it's floating freely in space. But it's not like that. Whenever we look at an anatomical drawing of a heart, it appears detached from the chest cavity. It's interesting that you mention the heart. The heart is full of forms of hardness. There's fat. The fat is quite hard. What do we need the fat for? Fat on the heart, for what? Energy or warmth? Such things are not taught. Interestingly, the artery is always below the organ, but with the heart, it's on top. Why? You need to recognize things like that, not just draw the heart and specify its millimeters, thickness, and muscle groups. That's nice, but why is it like that? Because when the heart contracts, it would squeeze the vessels if they were on the inside. They need to be on the outside. Exactly. Like the fuel line for a motorcycle. Because the vessel muscles have their own pressure sensors. And the heart has a program for 72 beats per minute because there are so many different pressures. That's why the vessels are on the outside. Now, another question. When the vessels are on the outside, there's a lot of friction and movement. So the fat is there. It's hard and has a cavity. The cavity hides the artery and protects it. So the fat forms a protective space for the externally located artery. Right, just like our head, the skull has a cavity to protect the brain from external pressure. But such connections are not taught. Heart diseases cannot be treated properly in that case. It's already delving deep into physiology that some may not understand what I mean. And why is it so bad if the artery is compressed? The conventional medical practitioner doesn't immediately grasp that. You have to explain it to them. The moment we apply pressure to compress the artery, a reaction must occur, and the pressure increases. That's why the artery is on the outside, so it doesn't experience the pressure. Otherwise, it leads to high blood pressure. Exactly. That's why the artery is on the outside and protected by fat. For example, one more thing. We can go a step further because we know that heart diseases are still among the leading causes of death, especially in industrialized countries. We also know that men are more affected by it than women. And we have found in huge studies that obesity, especially when it's centered around the abdomen, leads to heart attacks much more frequently. Why? And that's also why men who tend to have this type of fat are of higher risk of heart attacks.
Yes, we are back here. Unfortunately, I just saw the video doesn't match to the voices exactly, but I hope you can get an overview of Dr. Hansen, and perhaps we will get him someday for another interview and see like how he has been working more in detail with this method. Anyway, thank you for watching Ksns, this method, and have a great day. Bye.